Hi, this is part 3 of knowing your body and its messaging. I've done a lot on the nervous system. The parts of your nervous system that are fine-tuned for digestion is rest and digest. And I took a big break, big breath, because when you take a big breath, that signals to the body that you're safe. You take 5 breaths, and that really signals to the body that it's safe and that it's primed for digestion. So digestion ideally is done when you're not sending a bunch of blood to working muscles. That also could be you're not in a state of fright or fear or threat, and you're in a state of relaxation where the body can send all of the blood to the working digestive organs, the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small and large intestine. And it takes some time and energy. It also takes some ATP, which is your body's currency for energy, to digest the food. So it requires a state of working capability where other organs can function. Your heart and your lungs and your liver, they can function with the energy that they need. But now the connective tissue in your gut can absorb the food, and then the lymph and the blood can assimilate the nutrients to the required parts of the brain or the required parts of the body. This is one reason why a wives' tale, and I'll say this a lot in teaching, that you're not supposed to eat then swim, because when you swim, you're using almost your entire body to work. That's not ideal for digestion. It's not ideal to form a cramp, because now your digestive system is using all the blood and all the nutrients and oxygen, and your biceps or your quads can't float very well, or whatever the case is. And so we just want to be very mindful of when you're eating. Are you in a state of relaxation? And that's not always the case. It's not ideal, but could it be? Could you create an environment where it feels more pleasing for you to eat? If there's a lot of emotional dysregulation or thought patterns that are just really harmful or intrusive thoughts, how can you handle those and eat separately? How can you create eating a much more sacred habit to where you are trying to intentionally put yourself in ideal digestive state? Again, that's not ideal or realistic for most people who work, but what are some little things you could do? And a lot of times in my practice is how can we make the meal time a bit more of a sacred opportunity for you to rest? Hope this helps.